Hello everyone, it's Yogi here. I hope you're well. Yes, this is Wednesday evening in the UK, and I hope you're ready for a spot of stitching. I certainly am. So, oh my goodness, this piece, you know, I've been working on it for a while, but as you can see, not too much has been happening since the last time you saw it, if you remember at all. And yes, so today is the day I'm gonna do a little bit work on this one, and I'd like to make some progress. Okay, so if you don't know what this piece is, let me show you the markup. So this today is Kim Jacobs Day, of course, and I hope you're armed with a piece from uh, Kim. Sorry, it's been a long day, and to come here and join me. Okay, so let me show you the markup. It's beautiful. It's beautiful. So this is a piece called Quilting Room. Okay, and as you can see, it is a quilting room. It's a dream quilting room, and the color scheme I absolutely adore. It's very gentle, very soft, and it's just full of joy. And look at the bottom right there. There's a beautiful dolly sitting right there, and I can't wait to stitch him. So this piece we started together a couple of months ago, probably a little bit more. I can't remember anymore. It was summer. I remember it was really hot then when we started. And then I gradually moved forward a little bit, but get distracted by other pieces as usual. And I kind of just loved it a little bit. Okay. And but now I'm feeling fresh about everything, particularly with full cross as well. Full cross stitching. So I like to come back to this piece and, make some meaningful progress here. And let me show you my app right now. I'm tracking with Saga. And let me just show you where I am right now. So this is regular size, but it's max colors. So quite a lot of colors involved, and I'm here for the challenge. I love my max colors, as you probably realize by now. If there are two patterns, if a pattern has got the max color version available, I tend to go for the MC version. I love the idea of it. So this is where I am right now. I had a middle start here, and then slowly find my way to the sewing machine. Okay, and let me show you my stats here. So currently I'm on 2.17%. Okay, I'm not mad about that. Considering I actually haven't been working on it for a little while. And here I want to make sure I'm under the sprint tab, because I want to delete the last sprint and create a new one. Okay, so I'm going to just leave the name as it is, and this is going to track my progress today. But just to just look at the oh, this is interesting. Look at the panel on the left here. Oh, I haven't noticed before, and I've never seen this one before, where it says floor solid, which is the number of colors involved, and it says 238 minus 1, 237. What does that mean, guys? Anyone knows? Does that mean I completed one of the colors of the thread list, color list? I've never noticed this, and I'm not aware anything got reduced to 0. I'll have a look at my thread charts in a bit. So, well, that's weird. And so I think if I'm reading this correct, maybe I have finished one of the colors, one of the 238 colors. I absolutely did not notice that. Okay, so this is where I am. What a surprise. Let me just quickly look at the thread charts there. If I can sort it with a number of stitches, maybe. I think that's perhaps what that means. I cannot see anything that's being reduced to, or maybe this is the way to do it. If I reduce to minimum, right? I cannot see anything that's been reduced to 0 though. That's weird. Anything? Anyone knows? I don't know. It's a mystery. Saga is mysterious sometimes. And maybe I'll figure it out one day. I'm learning new things about it every day. So this is where I am right now. So the fabric I'm working on is 28 count fabric, pre-gridded, as you can see. So it's slightly more volume than the 28 count I was working on my Gecko Rouge yesterday. Ungridded fabric is much lighter, but I don't mind it. This is solid and it's already gridded for me, so I don't have to do it. And today I'm going to make a tiny bit of changes, okay? And I'll talk to you a little bit about it. But first of all, I want to say hello to all of you in the chat with me. Of course, let's have a look. Who have I got here with me today? So the first to report to the chat is Captain Alien Sarah. She says, hello, Stitchy friends. And then followed by Angela L. Welcome. Angela says, hello, everyone. And our busy mom as well. Hopefully she's not too busy today. And if you're the first 3 on, in the chat, we will highlight you. Or rather, I will. I have a team, me and me. And then we have Chloe as well. Hello, hello. And Leslie McLean, welcome. Nikki, my love, she's joining us today. And Jan as well, our PhD of Saga. So maybe she can enlighten me while I was looking at there with the thread list. And Susan as well, hello, hello. And Suzanne is coming back to us. Good to see you. And Ren as well. And welcome, Claudia. Hello, welcome back. And Vega from Japan. Hello, good morning. And Turtle Stitcher is here as well. She says, hello, Stitchy friends. And Salita says, hello, Yogi and Stitchy friends around the world indeed. And Tia is also here with us, says hi. And Susan. And Susan says, I think it's nice July. Oh, Susan remembers the date where we started. 9th of July, at least the date of the piece I started. Right, then you must be right. Then I do not record anything at all or date anything. And Jersey Girl Stitches is here with us as well. Landria is here. And Susan. Serena. Hello, Stitchy friend. She says, working on Quilting Room. Good girl, good girl. At least someone is working with me, in this SAL. Sometimes people just bring random pieces, trying to just mingle and pretend they're stitching with me on the same piece. Okay, so Serena is a model stitcher. She's working on Quilting Room with me, drinking coffee. And yes, yes, we will talk about that, Jan. So let me say hello to Jackie Turner as well. She says, hello, everyone. Watch until I need to pick up my granddaughters. Do not forget, okay? I know it's riveting, in the stream, but do not forget to pick up the granddaughters. And coming stitching pattern. Sylvia is also here. Hi, everyone. And Valerie Phillips. Hello, hello. And Michelle Fuller is also here as well. Welcome, everyone. So good to see you. So let me just quickly go back to Jan's comment here. Let me read carefully. She says, oh, Yogi, I need to tell you, I ditched the box. You made it seem so easy. Now I'm going rogue. I just stitch whatever I want. I love it. I love it. Yes, I think, if you don't know what we're talking about the highlight box. Okay, let me bring it up for you. Oh, I love that. I love that because I love it as well. And so we're talking about a highlight box that comes with Saga like this. I used to work like this as well. Well, I probably go back to it at some point. But for now, I'm going rogue just like Jan. And so previously, I tend to draw a big box and then work within that area and try to follow a certain sorting order. But recently I left that behind and just stitch whatever I want. It's a great fun. So well done, Jan. Give it a try. I enjoy it so far. So let's see how it goes. And let's have a look. So guys, let me know what you're working on today, okay? And it's okay, I'll keep my one eye closed if you're not working on Kim's project or, doing other things. It happens, or if you happen to be at work, then you have no choice. So today, I'm feeling ready. I want to make some, progress with this piece. I love this piece. And so, as you can see, the color scheme is quite gentle, very subtle. It's very, very much Kim's style. But at the same time, it does pose some, challenges when you're stitching, because sometimes you feel like you're just stitching air because, these colors are so subtle. But that's the beauty of it. I'm starting to build up my stitches here. And with this method, sometimes it takes a little while to see a complete picture. But I do my best. I'm not going to sort of do the completion as I move forward, as I usually do. I'm going to just go wherever I want, and just like Jan is doing right now, and come back to fill in toward a certain area. So I'm following the objects rather than, following the grid, the blocks. So that's my plan. But another thing I want to change. So up to this point, I've been using CXC for the fullness of the stitches. And as you can see, CXC really provides a very good coverage. But this is 28 counts, and I'm doing full cross as well. So at least as I'm building up stitches, for instance, the sewing machine here, I start to feel it became more and more challenging to kind of, pull the needles through, etc. It was still doable, but it was becoming more and more challenging. So moving forward, I am going to switch to DMC. And I actually gave it a try for a few stitches a few days ago. It felt good. So I think for 28 counts, particularly with this fabric, the gridded fabric is a lot thicker, and the opening between the threads are a little bit more close together. So I think DMC might be a better choice. But I'm glad I tried CXC, so now I know 28 counts if I'm using fabric like pre-gridded, DMC is probably a better choice, at least for me. So the stitching experience will be better, I think. And so this is what my plan, how I'm going to move forward with this piece today. Okay, so let me bring on my app view here so we can pick out all my mistakes, and let's pick the first victim. Okay, so as I'm moving freely, I think I'm pretty drawn to the orange area, and this orange area is actually a chair. Okay, if you don't know what I'm talking about, if you look to my app view here, let me just flip it over and show you the full view here. So by the sewing machine, there's a orange chair there. So I like to focus on that a little bit more, and maybe some stuff at the background as well. And it will help, shaping the outlines of these objects. So it's a very, very subtle piece. Some patience is required, but I'm here for it. I'm here for it. Okay, this is a beautiful piece. And, I want to come back to it. And Kimberly is also here, Mandy. Moran is also here as well. And Sarah, let's have a look. Sarah is working on Kim's embosai. Good girl, good girl. She's working on Kim's piece here. And we get together every Wednesday to appreciate her work. So it's always wonderful if you're working on Kim's design as well. And drinking cold coffee, beautiful. I've got a little bit of cold coffee left as well. So I'll take a sip later on. Oh, Jan. Okay, so Jan thinks, she says, I believe you did finish a color, but I don't think you sorted the list. You just chose to auto pick minimum. Maybe look again. Good, good point there, because the sorting system of this app is still, it's still a little bit random for me. I kind of just tap on different things and hope for the best. So let me have another look. So the auto sorting here, for minimum number here, I'm going to just turn this off for now because I'm not really doing the navigation. But as I come to the default sorting, oh, okay, so maybe I need to do this, right? Minimum to maximum. Maybe that's why. And let me tap on the top there. Oh, that's true. Look, I finished color 936 without knowing it. Yeah, I think this might be the first time for my entire stitching career that I finish a color. I think maybe there are only 5. This is max colors we're talking about. So yeah, so I have finished a color. Didn't even know. I don't know which one that is. And I'm happy. It's a milestone. Even though that color probably only had about 5 stitches. And so I finished my first color complete, of the thread. Yes. So let's see which one will be the next. Not going to be for another few years. So don't hold your breath. Right. My first color, I'm going to go into this chair here and pick maybe somewhere, start filling in this little chair and see how we go. I'll have a look. Okay, this is not too light, because I was going to say if this was like off-white, I'll probably switch for now, because I'm just warming up. I want to stitch something that I can actually see on the fabric. That helps, doesn't it? So here we go. My first color would be 3828. So 3828, I'm looking at my needle ball there. I don't have it. So I am going to bring on my DMC. 3828. 3828. Yes, I'm in complete shock that I actually finished a color. 3828 here. So I'm using DMC now. Okay. So you shouldn't be able to tell the difference. It would just all blend in. No problem. Yes, thank you guys. Thank you, Jackie, Nikki, and Michelle. Yes, everybody's celebrating Sarah. I know, I can't believe it myself. Yes, I'm sure there were only about 5 stitches, but that counts, right? Serena, thank you. And it's a milestone. It's the first of many, I hope. And perhaps that's the reward of doing max colors, because some colors literally just have, 10 stitches. And you get to finish it, So here we go. And I'm going to start here. And I want to start on the right foot with this piece, okay? I want to look carefully, because when you work this way with a lot of loose stitches everywhere, sometimes, there'll be locations that look identical pretty much, at least for my eyes. So I want to make sure that I start off at the right spot and warm up these little hands. Yes, indeed, small victory. But it's a victory, right? And Turtle Stitcher says, I'm still making up thread cards for Amy Stewart's traveling library. Yes, it's coming up. The SAL is on Saturday. We're doing a marathon, okay, guys? 10-hour marathon. And she says she'll finish today and contact my local shop to get 10 or so colors, though they were out of stock when I visit. But not to worry, you know, depending on where you're starting, and don't tell me where you're starting, okay? It's a secret. If you're starting on Saturday with me, okay, keep it to yourself and we will reveal together and try to shock each other to see who's starting the most shocking location, okay? But you don't need to have all the colors like right there, depending on how how you're planning to stitch and where your starting point is. So don't worry, you will have time to get it sorted. You know, I rarely kit up. Well, now I have master sets. I don't kit up projects anymore. I just start and add as I go. But when I used to kit up projects, I would only have enough for, I don't know, for a little bit. I don't just, suddenly go out and buy tons and tons of scans of the same color, just in case. I tend to just top up gradually because I know I'm it's going to take a little while before I need more. So just keeping things simple. So let me warm up my hands here. And let me know what you're drinking as well. Today I'm having a slightly different tea. Oh, I'll show you the tea bag. So for some reason I just keep forgetting topping up my mint tea. So I've been sort of, digging into my stash of other teas and revisit them again. See, DMC is a lot easier for this. Yes, I think it's definitely a great choice. Definitely a great choice. And also today's ending method, I'm going to give, there's another method. I've been doing the tuck-in, but tucking in method with 28 count is slightly trickier. So I'm going to give another method a go. It's got very little build up. So 2828. Let's have a look. 2828. Okay, let me just pop this needle back. So I'm going to go for another ending method. Some of you might know is actually invented by a Japanese floss tuber called May 51S. That's her handle. You can go look her up. She came up with a version that's quite easy. I haven't used it much because I was slightly doubtful how secure it is, but she uses on her work a lot. I believe she still does. But and I'll show you in a bit when I get to finish, and you can tell me whether you think it's a secure method. Okay, so let's have a look. Susan is working on garden. Oh, view of the garden, drinking hot chocolate. Date, yes, and this is where she mentioned the date I might have started this piece. Thank you, Susan. And Leslie is working on ode to Damn Maggie's Totem Craft and drinking water. Very nice. Very nice. Claudia is drinking iced tea, and when I'm crafting, it's not even threaded related today. Crafting, yes, one of those naughty people. Just come in and say, hey, I'm stitching along with you, and then doing something else. You're allowed. As long as you're crafting, you're enjoying, that's all good. And so I'm going to pick my next color here. So for now, I'm probably trying to be kind of good in terms of order and see where it takes me from here. So 402. 402 is an orange as well. Yes, I want to show you my tea bag. So today, this is what I'm drinking. So it's still from Puka, but it's lean matcha green tea. So I'm really fond of green tea. So I've got sort of different variations. So I don't know why it's making it lean. I don't know if it's making me lean or the the green tea itself is lean. So you can say it's ignite your inner fire with a blend of oolong, cinnamon. Oh, nice cinnamon, ginger, and fennel. So this is what I'm drinking today. Very nice. The last time I had it was a little while ago, so I'm looking forward to drinking it. 402. Yeah. And Maria is working on Garden Chair by KJ. Alandra is coming up with a confession. She says, I did a naughty thing today. I bought the Porto kit. It's on like, oh, you bought the entire kit, did you? It's on layaway, so it's a payment plan, right? In America. So I don't get to enjoy it yet. It's a plan. So how does that work? Do you have to pay off everything before you get a kit? How does that work then? Tell me. Oh, Alandra's deep dive into the portals. Yeah, yesterday it was a hot topic, and probably not for the best reasons. We're talking about the price tag, and everybody was seeing different prices. It was quite weird, and the weird thing was when we're looking at it together live. Okay, some people look at it and see 72. From my end, I saw 60. Yeah, 60. And then by the end of the stream, we finished the stream, and I just out of curiosity, I looked at it again before bedtime, and it went up. I was looking at exactly the same link, the same page. It went up to 72. So I don't know. I think maybe there's something's glitching on their system. And I'll be very surprised if they're not aware of it. They should be. It's weird. The prices are just kind of flipping back and forth. I don't know. I've never seen anything like this. So maybe this is the mystery of the portal. Okay, weird things happening in the portals. I don't know which portal we're in. Do you think that we're in the one in... I don't know. With the flying kitties? Or with the tortoise? It's not a turtle, I've been told. Yes, give us update, okay? Oh, Maria says chocolate finishing a color. Okay, yes, I'll reward myself for some chocolate. Thank you, Maria. Maria knows me. Yes. And Susan is saying Maria will become Yogi's favorite for suggesting chocolate. Yes, Maria, you're my favorite. Okay, don't tell anyone else. And you are my favorite. I mean, this fabric is still, even, you know, I really love plain fabric, ungridded fabric now. But this is not too bad. But I think going forward, I probably stop buying gridded fabric. I just think they tend to be more bulky. And also, you know, these borders sometimes confuse me. So I rather grid everything myself. Here. Let's see what's going on here. Yes, DMC is feeling a lot better for this fabric. Nikki, do I see a frog? Nikki's comment. Nikki says, I am frogging my old stitching shelf. 34,000 stitches to pick. I'm going to use the fabric for 6 portals. Nikki, we need to talk about portals. I don't know whether you caught up with yesterday's stream. Yogi is not doing that pattern. You know, Yogi is a simple yoga teacher and a streamer. I can't justify spending 60, 70, whatever pounds, getting a set of fabrics that are, you know, I'm feeling okay with it. I'm not crazy about it. I wouldn't mind stitching it if it was around sort of heaven and earth kind of, you know, price bracket. But I truly cannot justify getting the set of the pattern. And also, I probably wouldn't have minded getting just the purple panel. But after yesterday's pricing confusion, I'm not feeling so sure. So, you know, you have to go solo on that one. But I'm sure there'll be others, you know, Elise, who was that? Alandra will accompany you. And you can huddle together and stitch that piece. And just make sure you don't fall into a portal, okay? Try to stay on the planet, on planet Earth for a little bit. Do not fall into the portals. But yeah, but Nikki, when you have 34,000 stitch on the fabric, wouldn't that be better just to cut it off and use it for a smaller piece rather than trying to frog it? Why would you want to do that? Right? Wouldn't you agree, guys? It's just, why make it so hard for yourself? Hey, Betty Lou Taylor is here. Hello, hello. And, oh, Claire B as well. Hey, Claire B says, hi, everyone. I'm around, just lurking. Yes, you need to come out and at least report to the chat, and then you can go back and lurk, okay? Welcome, Claire. Oh, Alandra says, I got a job interview through for Friday, so it was my reward to myself. Oh, yes, absolutely. Congratulations. I hope everything goes well. You know, if you get the job, if it's going to be successful, I'm sure it will be, and you can reward yourself for another pattern. Maybe you can do sleep time with me. My cunning plan. My cunning plan. Oh, this one. Busy Mom says, I'm not sure I'll be starting with you on Saturday. My fabric I ordered last week is still not shipped. Really? Oh, it's okay. Whenever the fabric arrives, you can just come join us. Don't get stressed. Yeah, shipping with fabric sometimes is tricky. That's why I always stick with the same vendor. If I find a vendor that's kind of quite reliable, I tend to just stick with them. Oh, Alandra is very close to complete a piece. She says, unless 50 stitches left on the unicorn, so it's definitely a celebration day. Yes, when you're done, if it happens during the stream, post it on Facebook. We will celebrate together. Okay, this is what we do. You know, not that I have ever completed anything, but I know how to celebrate a completion, okay? So it's all happening for Landria here. Tia says, my partner bought 4 chocolate bars, so now I have a good amount of snacks. Yes, join me in a journey to delicious chocolates. Yes. Have I done this one yet? Where am I? Oh dear. Okay, it's here. You know, all the borders here, they're kind of helping or hindering me because it's, you know, while I'm looking at these little stitches, there's a lot of distraction of those lines going on there. I'm not sure they're helping me completely. You know, at least this is my excuse if I stitch incorrectly again. I think I probably make more mistakes with gridded fabric than not. Really, if I look at it. If I grid it myself, I don't know, it's just more clear for my eyes, even though there's it's a bit more work. Baduhi is here in the chat. Hello, hello. And she's just come back from a walk. How nice. And Suzanne making socks. Yes. Oh, yarn just arrived from Amazon. How nice. And Irene is here to say hello, and I'll catch up with the live later. See you later. Nikki says, oh, that means I'm out of the deal. Well, yeah, I didn't realize how expensive those patterns are. I was just thinking they're kind of like heaven and earth-ish, you know, naive. You know, I was being naive. And lo and behold, I had a look. And I go, well, 14, 15 pounds just for one single panel. If you get 4, it's like 60 something, and with all the taxes we have to pay VAT, we're talking over 70 pounds just for the patterns. Seriously. And if I really loved it, then perhaps, you know, I'll be willing to invest, but I'm kind of okay with it. I like the purple panel, but the rest I'm kind of going, I can live with or without, to be honest. So Nikki, have you bought the pattern? Oh, Nikki says, okay, I was wondering why Nikki doesn't just cut off the part that she stitched and just used the fabric for something else. Now I know why. Because our Nikki, you know, in the old-fashioned Nikki way, she's not this one. I'm highlighted the wrong one. This one, so it explains, okay? She has gone ECC as usual, which is extreme cross country. And if you have seen Nikki's extreme cross country, we're talking extreme. Have you seen people running marathon? Okay, have you seen people running marathon and you go, well, these are extreme athletes. But no, watch ultra marathon. Those people are extreme athletes. So Nikki is kind of the equivalent of the ultra marathon runners in the stitching world. Okay, she's I think this is going to be her legacy. But the problem is, once you stitch that way, if you're trying to restart, the stitches are all over the fabric. If you've seen her, how she extreme cross country with a sweet shop, she literally take one color 310 and complete all the 310s for the entire piece. Nikki, it's you did it to yourself, Nikki. I have no sympathy for you. I told you to stitch carefully, to stitch safely, you know, wear the helmet and, you know, GPS device and all that. You don't listen to me and see what happens. See what happens. Seriously. You have to listen to Yogi sometimes, you know. Serena says, night night stitchy friends, off to bed for me. I'll be watching the replay further in the morning because Serena has early start every morning. Yes. Night night, Serena. Well done for joining us for a little bit before bedtime. And sweet dreams to you. And dream about stitching delicious things, you know, no calamari, no seafood, okay? It's a group policy. But otherwise, dream about stitching cupcakes or little kittens. Nikki says, I bought it when you were live. Pay £60, $83. Nikki. Oh, well, I mean, you know, then stitch it, you know. I'd like to see how you, you know, get on with it. And that's interesting because you pay £60, so you didn't have to pay for VAT. The company is actually in the UK, in Scotland, and, you know, I'm in the UK, I have to pay for £12 extra on top of it. And yesterday, the weird thing was, I can't remember where that viewer was when I saw the chat. Someone reported she saw the price being 72 minus VAT. So when she tried to check out, it was 80 something pounds. And I said, well, this is getting out of hands. I don't know what's happening here. So I decided against it. Okay, so I'll be your spiritual support, you know, but I will not be stitching that piece with you. Move it back a little bit so you can see me. And Betty Lou Taylor says, Yogi, when you start your supersize, will we have either a supersize Tuesday or Thursday? We're running out of days, Betty. We have to come up with a solution. We have so many SAL days. We have no days left. Yes. when you're talking about supersize, you're referring to the sleep time, right? So guys, if you don't know which piece we're talking about, let me just show you. And you have the option. I'm not going to do an official sale or anything, but you have the option to join me. So this is the pattern Betty Lou is referring to, I think. So this is the first and the only supersize pattern. And I don't know what took over me when I checked out, and I just said, well, let's supersize it then. It just looks like that kind of pattern. So this is called Sleep Time from Ciro Marchetti. You can look it up on Heaven and Earth. And it's not £70, it's not £80. It's, you know, if you buy it at sales, it's around $10, okay? Thank God for that. And so I got this one during the last sale when I got the Max Color for Traveling Library, and I fell in love with it. It was in my wish list. And sometimes I go back and look at my wish list from time to time, remove some of them, and some of them just fell into my basket when I checked out. And this time, not only I checked it out, I supersized it. So if you want to join me, you don't have to do supersize, okay? But this is such a beautiful, beautiful pattern. Look at this. And this pattern, I checked the thread list. There's actually one of those, you know, Susan, what I can't remember what it's called. It's those glittery, kind of metallic sort of thread. There's one color there to highlight the background, the starry nights there. And I just love these sleepy faces of these cute, gorgeous furry animals and the little squirrel on the upper right there. This is just, my God. I mean, you know, I don't like darkness, so I'm afraid of dark. But this is, if I have to choose to be in the permanent, you know, night and darkness, I would like to stay in a world like this, with this warm glow from the treehouse. So you're welcome to join me. This is not going to be a you know, sort of salsa, not official, but this is one of the Ciro Marchetti pieces. So I'll be stitching it, of course, in the Monday Ciro Monday SAL. Okay, so your choice, but I just want to highlight this piece to bring it to your awareness because it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. Yes, Susan says, yes, Krennic. And it's, you know, just kind of few stitches at in the background there. It's really, really pretty. Oh, see, I told you, Nikki. We have one volunteer here, and also, you know, Alandria just bought a kit, so you can stitch together. Okay, keep Nikki company so she's not sobbing because I just pulled out. And Christiane says, I will stitch with you. There you go. Wonderful, happy ending in there. Ish. We don't know yet. Might end in tears if they were fallen into the portals. Dun, dun, dun. I bet Nikki will probably fall into the one with tortoise. You know, she likes seafood. Alison Rennie is joining us, and Naomi Wallace as well. Hello, hello. And Naomi's working on stitching shove, but hopefully not frog like Nikki. Oh yes, go for it, Nikki. Go for it, Naomi. Get a knife in, okay? Get it in there. But hang on, Nikki, remind me why you're frogging that one. Is it if I remember correctly, you were switching from 10 stitches to 4, right? Is that the reason why? And now, you know, I'm really thinking that if you're not happy with certain, you know, project that you're working, instead of struggling in it, trying to fight through it, sometimes it's better just have a restart. You know, I mean, obviously don't do it lightly. Sometimes if you leave a piece for a little while, it might change your mind. You might love it again. But, you know, sometimes you should just let it go and restart. Sometimes it's probably good for you and good for the project as well. having restarted 2 pieces in September. I'm changing my tune rather than going, oh, you know, just find that loving space within the piece and keep going. No. maybe sometimes it's good to restart. And now I'm restarting Gecko Rouge, even though not really through a conventional situation, not because I don't love the piece or not happy with it. It's just literally I found that I've stitched, you know, I made a lot of mistakes because the chart wasn't generated properly. And but now I'm loving it. I can't stop stitching it. It's like a brand new piece. And Alison says, evening stitchy people. I'm still working on Atrium. Couldn't be bothered swapping pieces or air stitching tonight. Yeah, some days you're in the mood for a little bit of air stitching. It happens. It's all part of the journey, the challenge, you know. Different experience. Very nice. Joyce is here in the chat. Welcome, Joyce. Good to see you. Yeah, Nikki, you can do extreme cross-country frogging. Can you frog as fast as me? Apparently, I frog faster than stitching. So watch and learn, Nikki. You know, if you want to learn how to stitch slower and frog faster, watch this channel. All the great tips for you in live demonstration. And real tears, you know. When I sob for real. There, I'm going to end this. Oh, this is the one. I forgot. See, I was going to show you. Let me do one more stitch. And let me show you what I meant about the May 51S ending method. Okay, I hope you can see it. So I'm going to do the final stitch. The trick with this stitch is that you need to know that you're about to end it. Because very often I just stitch and decided, oh, well, let me just end here. But this stitch, you need to have that awareness you're about to end. This stitch is going to be the last one. So basically you do one leg, first leg. I go from bottom left to upper right. Can you see what's happening here? Yeah. And then when you pull the thread down to the upper right there, you create a loop. And then as you come up from the bottom right to complete the second leg, you bring the needle up, and if you're clever, you can just put the needle through the loop and take it to the upper left to finish the thread. And pretty much that's all you do. You just bring the needle to the upper left and down. So your second leg get tucked under the first leg. That's pretty much it. And then you just move the needle a couple of stitches away. Just leave a tiny tail at the bottom and snip. So let me know, do you think this is a secure stitch? I have done it in the past with mixed success, mixed results. So majority of them seem to be okay. If they kind of happen to be in sort of tucked in area like these ones, you know, this area is probably would be good candidate for this kind of stitches. But what I've just done there is a kind of an open space there. So remains to be seen. I hadn't done this method for a long time. I learned it maybe a couple of years ago when I watched the lady's YouTube channel. So it's May51S, and that's her handle. And I was fascinated by it, so I tried it. So, and the reason I want to use it for this project is because 28 counts I find is very hard. It's, well, not very hard, but harder to do the tuck-in. Normally I just tuck into the middle of the cross and push down. This fabric might be okay because it's a little bit denser, but for the fabric I was stitching yesterday, the plain fabric is so light and the threads are so quite slim, and it was quite hard to do this tuck-in version there. Let me take a sip of my tea here. Oh, lovely. Fennel really comes through there. So I'll see how it goes, but it's a very easy way of doing it. The only caveat is that you need to know you're about to end it. Otherwise you just stitch normally, and then you can't do this method anymore. So Susan says, Yogi, are you stitching without us? What do you mean? Which bit? Susan, why do you say that? When did I stitch without you? Yeah, sometimes. I'm stitching behind your back, okay? Are you referring to my gecko rouge? Nikki says, the 6 portos make me broke, so I need to use my own stitching shell fabric for it. Is that what you're trying to use it for? It's going to take you, you know, at least a couple of weeks to undo all the stitches. What count is it? Is it 25? The smaller it is, the harder it is. Imagine trying to frog this. Do not do that. It's not worth it for your sanity. Oh, Nikki, see? I told you. Is that the fabric you were going to use for the portos? Huh. Turtle Stitcher says, Yogi stitching safety advice. Look both sides before crossing the stitch. Yes, very good, Turtle. Yes, the crossing is very clever, very clever. We like it. So, Joy says no stitching this evening. Oh, why not? By kitting up. Okay, I'm having green tea with mango and jasmine. Joyce, which project are you kitting up? Are you doing the traveling library by any chance? I can't remember whether you're joining us. And Joyce, we've got a marathon coming up this Saturday, okay? just in case Joyce is not up to date. So this Saturday, the plan is I'll probably put out the notice, the schedule stream, maybe sometime tomorrow, and so you have it there. The plan is to start at 2 p.m. UK time, so you can do the conversion wherever you are from 2 p.m. UK time, and we're stitching all the way to midnight UK time. Okay, that's 12. So that's the plan, and we're starting this piece traveling library together. Whether you're doing max colors or regular, whatever. I'm not even sure they've got a mini size. I think it's probably not justified for the piece to do mini. That's my opinion. So so whatever version you're doing, and of course if you're not doing this piece, just bring an Amy Stewart piece and come along. And if you're not doing either, why not? You know, you still have time to grab an Amy Stewart piece, any piece, and start with hers. But if you're knitting socks, you know, yeah, that's all right. I'll let you in. There's a back door there, you know, you can sneak in. Yeah, I think I'm going to move to a slightly different color there. Just give my eyes a rest from orange. Let me flip my chart over, my favorite thing to do. And I am going to pick a color I like. So when I pick whatever color I like, my rule is it has to connect to at least one stitch I've already made. So I would not just jump to another area and start stitching. It has to connect in some way. So that's my rule. Just to keep things, you know, in order, so it doesn't get out of hand. So suddenly I'm stitching the upper right corner, which it could. But for now, I'm trying to be a little bit more sensible. You know, I tell people to stitch safely, and I need to, you know, follow that advice myself. So here, I am going to pick this one then. A little bit of green sounds good. And this is a beautiful green. Yes, 503. 503 here. I've got one threaded already. Nikki says, Yogi, your gecko rouge is basically supersized. Yes, and it's really large. It's probably bigger than a regular supersized from Hade, but I don't call it supersized because it's not really sized up from anything. You know, the design, the chart just happens to be that size. So it's not supersized from the regular size as such. It's just big. So it's a large, yes, it's a large pattern. It's the same, a very similar size to the 6 portals when all 6 portals come together. So I've already got my portals. It's called Colin Thompson's weird craft cupboard, and I'm adding the weird myself. Look at this. This is mighty confusing. So over here, there are quite a few stitches that are unstitched, but can you even tell because of this grey border in the background? It's literally, you really need some sort of microscope to actually figure them out. If I don't have the chart and you want me to do it with naked eye looking at this, I wouldn't know what I'm looking at. No idea. But there are quite a few stitches, they're not done yet. So, oh, seriously. So I'm going to move down here for now. I'm going to skip those stitches. They're going to make me go blind and do these ones. And the next one is 1, 2, 3. Sarah says, Yogi's advice, wear safety equipment, turn on GPS. Yes, we need to sort of, you know, make those announcements from time to time because people forget and they start to, you know, kind of do sort of risky things. And we don't want that to happen. And, you know, we have limited resources when it comes to search party activities. We don't want to lose anybody in the wilderness of their fabric. So we have to make those safety announcements from time to time. And Leslie says, I've got a quick stitch of sleep time and my age super size is not an option. Yeah, I know someone else, Busy Mom. I think Busy Mom is doing a quick stitch version as well. It's very pretty as well. Absolutely. Just pick the version that works for you. Air stitching live. Jan says, did you find the missing stitches on that piece? Which piece are you referring to? Maria says, I frogged my garden chair about 1,100 stitches and restarted. Wow. Yeah, I think if it's 14 counts, it's probably slightly easier to frog. But when it comes to 25 upwards, you know, I don't know. If you have a whole bunch of stitches, you might as well just crop out the area. And Nikki says, 25 counts, I can start because I have space on the other end. Yeah, because someone asked the question about the best way to frog on our group. And I think one of the comments was, which is what I have done as well, is turn it around to the other corner and start there. And occasionally come down to frog the area on the bottom right, if you know what I mean. And of course, that's if you are 100% sure you're going to do the frogging, so you don't run out of fabric. But you can frog a little bit at a time, so it's not too overwhelming. So I like that approach, rather than trying to do it, you know, like whatever 1,000 stitches. That doesn't sound like fun. Jess is asking, do you have a favorite whip? Oh, I love them all, Jess. So I tend to be so the one I'm stitching tends to be my favorite. It's kind of true because it's a favorite of the day, isn't it? That's the piece I want to stitch for that day. But literally, I love all the pieces I'm working on. It doesn't mean I love them equally every day. There will be pieces that I'm drawn to that particular day, and that will be the one I'm stitching. So it's hard to have a favorite one, isn't it? Because why would you want to stitch anything that you know you're not totally in love with? And maybe that's why I can't stitch 6 portals because I'm not sure if I'm in love with them. Susan says, Jess, do you have a favorite child? Yes, that's precisely it. You know, maybe some parents go, yeah, I have my favorites. Some I wish I never gave birth to them. I'm sure that happens too. Yes. Jess, you don't have to answer that, okay? Just in case the kids are listening. Rochelle says, I'll do my best to be there at the start of Saturday, but it will be 5 a.m. for me. Oh, 5 a.m. So, Rochelle, are you in Australia by any chance? So, or maybe in Japan. I don't know. DMC is much easier. Ooh. Vaduhi says, I only have one project. Oh, I can't believe Vaduhi's been joining us for a little while, and she only has one project. This lady has the willpower of steel. She's made differently. And I'm going to do another of May 50s method here. So this one will be the last one of this piece, this thread, and I'm going to just come up from the bottom right and pull a needle through the loop in the middle clumsily, and then go down the upper left as if, you know, just finish the cross there. I mean, it looks secure, but I don't know. There. It's quite easy to do. Oh, hey guys. Joyce is joining us with the Traveling Library Max Colors. Yeah, I didn't know. I forgot to ask you. So Joyce is joining, and call me crazy. Yes, you're crazy. But I'm starting Traveling Library Max Colors. I think the fox looks better on this one. Didn't like the bright red round the eyes on the regular, so you could see the difference. I actually didn't do the comparison. I just thought both of them look pretty decent, and definitely the Max Colors look gorgeous. And So let me bring up, did I bring up the marker for this one? Okay, so if you don't know which piece we're talking about, you've been under the rock, you need to get out of the rock quickly. This is the piece, okay? And the fox is on the bottom left there. It's gorgeous. And this is the actual markup generated with stitches. Okay, so this is not an illustration, but you just look how much detail is there. It's gorgeous. It's beautiful. So come join us, and you know, you still grab your pattern there. I don't think they're doing sales today, unfortunately, but quite a lot of us grab the pattern when the Max colors came out a few days ago, and there was a 50% sale as well, but your choice. Yes, it's gorgeous, isn't it? Sarah VM is joining us. She says, hi everyone. Just got back from grocery shopping. How thrilling. Sarah VM, I hope you got some yummy power snacks for your power stitching you're about to do. Alison says, Yogi, I have started going over the grid lines with a brighter color as really struggle with them too, depend on what colors around them. So Alison, you're referring to this piece, right? Yes, it's you really need a strategy with this piece, because it's not just the fact that it's max colors, that's less of a problem, but it's more of the color palette, because you know, just imagine if you're doing traveling library, the colors are so strong, and majority of the pieces you probably have some brighter colors, but everything about this piece is just soft and gentle, and so it requires, you know, a little bit of sort of patience and strategy to stitch. But I think you can tell that the sewing machine is coming along. Once everything's filled in, it feels solid. It feels like, you know, this is the way it's meant to be. So, but it takes a little bit to build up. So stay in there, Alison. Jan Doe says, the craft cupboard, your first session, you did 400 and something, but said it wasn't right. Oh, yes, Jan. Okay. Oh, Jan, maybe Jan has the answer. Yes. Jan, let me repeat the comment. So this is referring to my Gecko Rouge project, the craft cupboard, when I restarted last week. And by the end of the session, if you're regulars, you know what I'm referring to, guess my stitches, and I reveal the final total of my stitches that I've done for that session. And what happened was, I looked at the screen, I looked at the stats, and it says 400 and I don't know, 20 something. It's way over 400. But everybody, including all you guys in the chat, looking at the little blob that I did, you know, and kind of not really convinced. Even I wasn't convinced. I was looking at this bunch of stitches and I was thinking, no, it just doesn't look like 400, even though I was doing cross country and, you know, I can't count basically, but still, even for me, visually, it didn't look like I've done 400. And also 400 normally takes me, God knows, 3 hours, over 3 hours to do. And, you know, I only end up maybe, you know, the remaining time of the session, I probably did over two hours or something. So yes, but the app told me that I've done 400. So later on, when we finish the stream, I brought on, let me show you what I did. So with the highlight box we were talking about. So basically, I just created a box like this and surrounded, just circle all the stitches that I've done for that session in the middle. And guess what? The number came up as 217 or something like that, and it sounded a lot more right. But I looked around for the entire chart, I could not see anything that I marked sort of accidentally. So I have no idea what was going on. Jan, do you know? Yes. Maybe you have already answered it. Sorry, I'm slightly slow. So let me know if you have any insight to share, Jan. I don't know. I literally looked around the entire chart and I could not make, see anything that is sort of marked by accident. So I don't know what happened there. No idea. It's a mystery. So it makes me a little bit nervous about reading the numbers, because just in case, if you frog anything, it's still counted towards completion. It doesn't seem to be the case, but I don't know. So I cannot explain what happened then. Ebony, hello. The Stitches with Ebony is here in the chat with us. And Live with Natty says, I'm doing a quick stitch max color of Little Cake Shop by Amy Stewart. Oh, nice. That's a good one, because Live with Natty, that's the first version I got when I laid my eyes on the on that pattern. I got the first quick stitches because I wasn't confident that I could do the full version, and within probably a few days of stitching the quick stitch, I decided I wanted a full piece, so I did, and I'm still working on that. So, but lovely pattern there. Yes, great choice. That piece just brings me with a lot of joy to looking at those cupcakes and all the pink colors. This one, 3817, 3817. 17. I do have one threaded already on my needle bore. Move it up a little bit more. So Rochelle is in California. So Rochelle, if you're in California, I think yes, 2 p.m. over here. I don't know. Normally, if we're starting at this time, you guys are still in daytime, right? So that's all I know. So Vadu, he says, I have more patterns than I can stitch. I'm just driven stitcher, finish and start. Oh, so Vadu, so you do have other patterns, but you've only started one ever. Is that true? Or or you're just stitching one project right now and basically leave everything else, part everything else right now? That's a slightly different situation there, because either you only have one project and you will not buy another pattern until you finish one. There's stitches out there like that, okay? They're aliens. Or you just decided you want to focus on one and part the other ones. So you do have other whips. You're just not whipping. I just invented the term there. Are you whipping? Three. Let me mark them as I go. John says no idea. It's weird. Because, you know, in order to confirm my suspicion, I literally put a highlight box around the area I stitched, and it came out only half the number. It's a mystery. We've got a few new joiners here. Brett is here. Good evening, everyone. I'm going to watch again till I fall asleep. Go ahead. Yes, we'll keep you company till you enter the dreamland. Many viewers watch us as they go to sleep. And Maddie's budget corner is also here as well. And Six has also joined us. Good evening, Yogi. And supporters, I saw your replay of your Gecko Rouge piece and heard you say that you saw eyes between the legs of the cat. Huh? Let's bring that on. Is Six talking in code? Oh, legs of the cat. Okay, so you corrected it. I heard you say you saw eyes between. Yes. Saw the eyes between the eyes of the cat. I see an idyllic country house. What? What? I have to show this so you know what we're talking about here. It's really hard to explain what Six trying to convey, but I know exactly what she's saying. Let me just bring this on. Okay, let me bring the. Oh, this is curious. So what does it say about me? Okay, so here we go. Let me show you. So I'm looking at my Gecko Rouge pattern here. Okay, so let me just look at Six comment again, and I'm going to hide it right now. So I'm looking at, I see eyes between the legs of the cat, and Six is seeing idyllic country house. Okay, you'll be the judge. She's referring to here. So this pattern has got this kitty here that I'm aiming to stitch. Okay, this orange kitty. And if you look between the space between the kitty's legs, what do you see here? You let me know, chat. This might be some sort of psychological test that we can, you know, use to test if someone is normal or alien. Oh, I see what you mean. I see what you... Oh, hang on a sec. Hang on a sec. Do you get what I'm saying here? What do you see, guys? Let's do a survey. Sarah says, I see a farmhouse. Sarah says, with chicken. Rochelle says a country house. Susan, country house. It's a house. Maria says house. Jess, cottage. And Ebony says a cottage. Turtle Stitcher is a house with 2 chimneys. Live with Natty, I see a house. Sarah, cottage. Tia, house. Maria with green shrubs. Oh, there's a lot of details. Michelle Fuller, cottage. Irene, that's a house. I saw eyes. I see this too. I thought, you know, yesterday I thought it was a kind of imaginary crab. It's a seafood, right? Crab is seafood with legs, green legs coming out from the side with 2 big eyes and 2 ears, antenna, or whatever, claws. But now you mention the word cottage. I can kind of see that. There's a door in the middle, right? And 2 windows. What? Oh my God. Yes, Alison, but guys, now the idea of the house is put in your head. Do you think, therefore, you see a house? But for me, because I just see these two big eyes, and then it looks like a crab, like green crab, with claws coming out the side, looking really menacing. Caroline says house. Maddie says cottage. Oh my God. Alison says, I saw ice yesterday, but when you were talking about, but now pointed out a house. Exactly, Alison. We are subjected to, a lot of, what is it called? Subconscious kind of suggestions, don't we? So Alison is a very good example here. Alison, when I said crab, when I said ice yesterday, Alison saw ice. And today, when we're talking about, when we say cottage, now she says she sees cottage. Yeah, no, Yogi. Well, actually, if you see eyes, you're normal. Okay, that's my rule. So if you if you see what I see, so me and Alison, we're normal, and the rest of you are aliens. Maybe this is not a house. This is so weird. Yeah, now you say it, because I was thinking, wow, what a weird, mind the artist must have. They have this evil-looking, menacing-looking crab. Green crab between Kitty's legs. What does that signify? And also, what is this? The pink thing just on, here. Is that a snail? Just on the, just in front of the kitty and the front legs there. Is that a pink snail? What is it then? Oh, Naomi says it looks like a bit like an angry owl face. It's a little bit closer to menacing looking crab, okay? My goodness. Turtle Stitcher says, based on the style of the painting, it's probably intended to be ambiguous. Exactly. So you read into what your mind tells you. It's like Susan, when I see beautiful blossoming flowers, she's going, they're flowers. There you go. That's what it is. Oh, Sarah VM says, I can see a cat with a chef's hat. This one? A cat with this one? You mean the green crab? You see a cat with a chef's hat? Oh my God. Oh, or maybe a turtle, a green turtle with some sort of really fat legs looking to the side. The white bit on the left looks like a head, and with two big fat legs. It could be. Oh my God, we'll never know. I don't think there is a... Wow. Yes. Baduhi says, you a live comedy is a house. Really, Baduhi? Are you sure? Look again. Look at those eyes staring right at you. Definitely staring at me. What about this pink thing then? Oh, Nikki says pink do with the arm raised. Really? Yeah. Where's the arm? This one. Can you see the pink blob in front of the kitty? At the bottom here. That's a snail, no? I'm so confused. Yes, I can see on top of the kitty, there's a kind of pink blob with holding a kind of a stick or something, right? That I can kind of figure out. But come on, I see big eyes. Guys, I'm not convinced. Oh, it's inconclusive then. Inconclusive. I insist it's a green crab, okay? You see whatever you see. I'm scared. I'm going to be freaking out stitching it. Oh, that's so funny, Sigs, that you brought that up. Maddie's here. Hello. Nikki's seeing a house as well. She's just pretending. I bet she's seeing those evil eyes. But she just wants to, contradict what Yogi says. What does it say? What does it say about you? You know, I wonder. Yes, turtle stitches. I see the crab now. You pointed out. Exactly. That's it. Exactly. It's a psychological test. Susan says yo-yo, the pink thing. I don't think so. It can't be yo-yo. I think it's something evil, right? Susan, you would agree. Well, at least now when I stitch that area, I can pretend it's a peaceful country cottage so that I don't freak out. I'll try. I still think it's an evil looking crab. Sarah says yo-yo strings in cat's mouths. No, I don't see that. How come we were seeing totally different things? Just like the prices yesterday, we'll have different numbers. Oh, we're seeing things. Yesterday, literally, everybody was looking at the same page live here at the same time. And the page, the screen saying different things. Just like the green crab. Busy Mums looks like it's holding a string. I didn't see the string though. What am I looking at then? Oh, Turtle Stitcher is saying the same thing. Pink blob at the bottom is a fish hanging from a string? And a cat's mouth. Guys, you're seeing things that's not there. I'm scared. Now there's a fish involved coming to the equation. I didn't see that. I just saw a pink blob. It just... This is very disturbing. We're parallel universe. Everybody's seeing different things. So everybody's saying Kitty has a string, so it has to be a yo-yo. So where does the fish coming from then? Someone's seeing seafood. Crafty says it's a yo-yo. Where does a yo-yo come in? It doesn't look like a yo-yo. It's a pink blob in no particular shape. Just imagine I have to stitch all those things. Nikki says, if you find his prints, you can probably see it better. I do have a printout, actually. Hang on. Okay, so this comes with a kit, okay? Maria says, it's the crab claw. Exactly. Look, this is what we're talking about. Look, that's a green crab. Come on, guys. Work with me here. All right? If you don't see the crab, I don't know what you're looking at. It's a great. Okay, okay. Now I can see that string there. Okay, I didn't interpret that line as a string, but that looks like a snail. That's a look at those eyes, guys. You know, don't tell me that's a peaceful, tranquil cottage there. That is a green crab. My goodness. Yes. And that I don't know. That okay, that could be a yo-yo or something. But yeah, it looks weird. It looks like a pink snail. That is a crab, guys. Susan say, what does he say about yogi? No, it says the yogi is seeing what it is. You know, I do not distort my vision to make it less scary. I'm scared. And Vadu says, pink is the Patrick from SpongeBob staring at a car, at a cat. Yes, it could be. And Life with Natty says, sorry, I'm trying to make my brain seeing a crab, but I can't see it. I can't. I see a house. Oh, I'm sure there's a sort of psychological study we need to do here. Maybe we need to donate this session to a lab for them to study what is happening here. You know, what does it say about you or me or Susan? And I'm going to move it over to this area here. I'm going to do a yogi move. I'm going to anchor a stitch here. Well, actually, I'm not going to be bothered because I haven't got a lot of thread left. I'm going to just leave it, actually. It's not long enough to do that. Sig says, Yogi, I thought you wanted a happy start, not a Halloween start. Well, some element of this piece is a little bit, you know, on the spooky side. And someone actually mentioned about those faces and, you know, like dolls and masks and everything. And they have a good point because I talk so much about my phobia with, you know, like a doll faces or masks, Punch and Judy style, those old Victorian toys. But for some reason, I'm drawn to this piece. I can't tell you how much I was drawn to this piece when I saw it. I was dreaming about it. But there are elements of this piece, for some reason, it speaks to me. Even this evil crab. To be honest, I've been working on this piece for close to 3 years. It wasn't until I restarted the piece and looked down at the bottom part of the chart. So many details I didn't even know. I knew there was a little kitty here somewhere, but I never looked under the kitty's legs. Come on, if that's not eyes, I don't know what you're looking at. Okay, it's scary. But I managed to stitch this, which is a little bit spooky, and I stitched the doll as well. I don't know how I managed. So it's weird. I think our mind is not absolute. And clearly this piece speaks to me in some way. Joy says, it looks like the crab and boss. Like the last boss of a game. Who? Banjo and Kazooie. Yes, Joyce is expert on video games, clearly. Yes. Yes, it looks like some sort of last boss of some, you know, crab fighting game, seafood fighting game. I fancy do a little bit of a pinkish stitches, if there's any, on this side, just for a change of flavor. Let me see if I've got any. Oh, I haven't got a lot of pink left. Let me see. I could move down here. Actually, there's some pink here if I insist. Why not? Let's do that. I'm allowed to do it because there are stitches here to connect with it. So that's my rule. All right then. So I'm going to move up a little bit. Susan says, "Where's Glenn when you need him?" I'm sure he's probably seeing evil eyes as well. Dun dun dun. So Glenn is from Quilting Rouge that visited us the last time. Well, not the last time, 2 weeks ago when I restarted the piece. Well, actually, it was only a week ago. Seems like a long time ago. 3727. Here we go. Nikki says the craft board, craft cupboard kit costs over £1,000. No. It really depends on the fabric count you go for. Obviously, the lower the fabric count, the more material you're going to need. So I think the pattern starts somewhere around close to 400 with 28 counts. I went for 25 counts, so it was over 500. Yeah. I think if you go down to 14 counts, I'm not sure you can do 14 counts. I can't remember, but there's one more option. So slightly lower count, then it goes up. Yes, I know. But it wasn't something that I did lightly. I really wanted it. But this is the only Quilting Rouge project I've got. One, two, 1, 2, 3. A little bit of a pink action here. Six. Six is being cheeky now, okay? 6 says, do you see a sewing machine? What sewing machine, six? I think I saw a power drill, okay? There's a power drill happening here. Can you not see that, guys? Can you not see a power drill? Who actually sees a sewing machine there? I don't think so. Oh, 6 is going crazy. 6 is seeing things. This is a, This piece is called Warehouse, DIY Warehouse, where it's full of power drills and chainsaws and that kind of stuff. It's a beautiful piece. Oh no, sewing machine. Who does that? Yes, Nikki, for 18 counts, suddenly it just goes up. I think it's the size of the fabric. It will be massive. And also quite a lot more floss is required. So mostly I think you're paying for the material. So it varies quite a lot. You know, depends on your fabric count. But if you look at the world maps, I think they're the largest pieces they've got. Yeah, we're talking way over £1,000. But they're massive. Hey, Kelly. Kelly's Quotes Plus is here. Hey, Tattoo Stitcher. Enjoy the rest of the day. One, two. It's nice to do a little bit of a pink colors. So this one over here, double checking so I know where I am. Nikki says, I'll never be able to get the one I want. I hope you'll make chance available. We should have asked Glenn. So which one are you going for, Nikki? If you could just get any one of them. I thought you've got one shelf pattern from them when before they went all away, just doing kids, right? I remember you have one that's massive. Is that the stitching shelf or is it Amy Stewart piece? Can't remember. There are a lot of shelf pieces out there. But I think with Gecko Rouge, I kind of understand what they're doing because, you know, if they want to compete purely just with patterns, they're placing themselves directly against companies like Heaven and Earth, right? And Heaven and Earth is quite established, and they're able to keep the prices quite relatively reasonable, quite reasonable actually. Now we're looking at the paint-free craft patterns, quite affordable, and it's kind of a go-to place for stitchers. So in a way, you kind of need to find where you are on a marketplace. And I think it's quite brave for Gecko Rouge to go, basically, if you want our pattern, you buy the kit as well. So, you know, you can't just get a pattern. It's a choice, I think, in terms of the business model. So they're going for the full-on, you know, made to order kits, and also their patterns are beautiful, very unique. So they do, I think quite a lot of artists probably exclusive with them as well. There's so many pieces I've never seen being charted anywhere else. So this one was Colin Thomas. I've never seen anyone else charted it, not even a smaller version. So in a way, if you want this piece, you have to go for the whole kit. So yeah, I'm not sure if they would go with the pattern only, business model, or even have that as an option. And I think maybe that's why pain-free craft is kind of slightly in an awkward position, because they do both. Okay, so they kind of want you to do, I suppose they probably want you to get the kit rather than just the pattern. But the pricing of their patterns are slightly on a higher end. Whether it's worth it or not, obviously, is in the eye of the beholder, really. If you think it's worth it, it's worth it. But I would say it's slightly on the kind of the higher end for pattern only. And I think that's where my hesitation is coming through, because I'm just doing a comparison in my mind. Even if I have patterns I like from their website, I'm going to be thinking, well, there are a lot of, gorgeous, gorgeous patterns from Heaven and Earth, and it's a lot more affordable. So, do I have to get anything from them? Currently, I'm thinking no. I'm quite happy with, my options here. Kelly says, it's a sewing machine for sure. I borrowed one from a friend last summer. It was older than me. No, Kelly, it's a power drill. Kelly seeing things. Kelly seeing a sewing machine. Why would I do that? This is a this piece is called the workshop, the power workshop. Can you not see the chainsaw and everything else that's going on here? Why would there be a sewing machine? Six says, I think a rescue team needs to go and aid Yogi. I do not know if they will be there in time. Send me to the hospital. It's too late. I don't think there's treatment available for this problem, for this disorder. One, two, three. 1, 2, 3. Nikki says, I have the world map chart from Gecko, but I want the huge bookshelf from Colin Thompson. He's got quite a few though. Which one are you after? There's another one I want from Colin Thompson. Have a look, Nikki. It's there are two more I'm kind of thinking, it would be nice to have. Is there are two other cupboards. So this one is the what is it called? The cupboard. What is this piece called? Craft. cupboard, okay? And but he's got two other cupboards. One is a kitchen cupboard, and another one is, I think it's a garden one. I'm not sure it's called garden cupboard, but there's a garden version, and both of them are gorgeous. Oh, I love those cupboards. I'm less drawn to the bookshelves, but I love those cupboards. Nikki says they market to those with more money to spend. I just don't want that DMC when I have already. Yeah, I know. So yes, they're very specific with who they're targeting, whoever they are, because I wouldn't even put myself as a targeted audience. I think I just came across them, fell in love with this piece, and decided to, make the investment. I'm not sure if I'm one of their core audience, because I know that, there's a UK floss tuber called hang on a second. I need to take a sip of my tea here, sorry. There's a channel called I don't know whether you've come across, called Cross Stitching Smiles. She's all the way Gecko Rouge. She buys God knows how many kids, I don't even know. Maybe I don't think she's exclusively stitching Gecko Rouge, but she's got so many, it makes me think that it's close. And also she's a member of, like, Go member. They have some sort of membership, so that you get sort of mystery patterns or whatever it is. I'm not part of that at all, I wouldn't put myself there as their target audience. I don't know who their target audience is. Maybe, a lot of spare money for sure. But at the same time, they're kind of totally into the idea of buying kitted sort of patterns there, fully kitted. And those are lovely patterns, obviously. So I don't know. I cannot define who they're targeting, but I'm one of those people who, just so happen to stumble across a pattern that I love enough that I want to buy, because I haven't bought another one since. So Nikki says, I would buy the chart from Gecko Rouge if it was higher end, like pain-free. Yeah, I know. It's a very different kind of business model, isn't it? It's like one is dealing with digital downloads, and the other one is, you physically kit up the product for them. Very different kind of operation. Yeah. Let me take another sip of my tea here. Hey, Susan says, Yogi, liar, liar, pants on fire. Why? What did I do now? Susan, do not spread rumors. I do not lie. My hips don't lie. Okay, occasionally. Chantel Pitts says, Yogi, what happens to the World of Doom? Oh, so I can decide which one I'm working on tonight. Okay, Chantel, very good point. So Chantel has been paying attention of yesterday's stream, okay? And I said I would start spinning wheels for you in the beginning of every stream, because I've been visited by the fairy yogi, okay? And the fairy yogi says to me that I'm giving you this technology so you can help your fellow stitchers. If they're lost, you can point them to the direction, toward the lights. And Chantel is very rightly pointed out that I have not spin the wheel today. And that's because, you know, I sort of do a little bit more work on it. But Chantel, just for you, okay? For you and those of you who are looking for help, you're lost in the desert of webs. And Chantel, how's that? I'm going to do the first spin just for you. How's that? Chantel, tell me how many webs you've got. Chantel? And let me bring this on. So this is the well, you know, that's gifted to me by the Yogi Fairy. And let me know how many webs you've got, and I'll do a customized spin for you, okay? So even though this spin is not fully finished yet, but I'll do one for Chantel because Chantel has been paying attention here. So Chantel's got 3, okay? I can do a spin of 3 for you. How's that? Is that good? Is that good? All right, how's that? Do you like it? Chantel, give me a thumbs up if you like it, and I'll spin for you. Yay? See, some people pay attention, and they're rewarded by the Yogi Fairy. And so if the spin of 3 is good, give me a thumbs up now, and I'll do it right here for you. Yes, Chantel, watch this. Okay, guys? The first spin from Fairy is dedicated to Chantel. Okay, are you ready now? Should we do a spin now? 3, 2, 1. There you go, guys. It's number 3 here. Number 3 here for Chantel. Yes, it's number 3. This is the number for you today, all right? How's that? So this is what can help you as well from now on. And I'll spin a number in the beginning of a session, okay? And the wheel, you know, this is from the Divine Space. Halloween it is. Yes, there you go, Chantel. Yes, this is from the Yogi Fairy, okay? And now the fairy has guided Chantel towards the light. I am so happy for you, Chantel. Yes, you'll receive recipient of the first spin, fairy spin of the channel. And this is the moment to remember. Well done, Chantel. There you go. If you believe in fairy, this is what you can get. You get rewarded with the divine power and light from Yogi Fairy, okay? Well done. So now Chantel can, you know, move on with the stitching. No longer lost. Susan say, really happy my Well of Doom name sucked. See? It's just like I see eyes between the kitty's legs and Susan, I don't know. I don't know what Susan's seeing. But we see different things. And Susan thinks it's the Well of Doom. And I see this well of light, okay? It's going to help a lot of stitchers like Chantel that's lost in the desert to find her way. And Suzanne says, oh, that's why I'm not stitching tonight. Yogi did spin a well of doom. Do not learn from Susan, okay? Ignore Susan completely. Chantel says, I usually don't get to catch you live, and I have to catch up once kids are in bed. I know. Where there's a will, there's a way. And see, good things can only happen when you make it to Yogi's stream. But of course, look after the kids first. Oh, let me see. Oh, Abby says, referring to the Gecko Rouge kids, right? Ebony says, I love the kitchen one, but I wouldn't pay for that price. I know that one is even, it costs more than the craft cupboard for some reason, even though size-wise, it's very similar. But for some reason, that chart is more, it costs a little bit more. Oh, that's why Susan is calling me a liar, because I did say... Because I thought I was going to have some time to finish the will. Even though it's beautiful as it is now, I thought maybe I could make it even more beautiful. And I'll keep working on it. But, you know, fairies vary. The divine message is the same, okay? So it worked. And Nikki is, oh, the one you have is a magic library. It has 4 libraries in one. Yes. Are you working on that one then, Nikki? Because you can get busy with that one. And you're very lucky. I didn't even know. By the time I discovered Gecko Rouge, they're doing kids only. So I didn't even know once upon a time they were selling patterns. I didn't even know that. Nikki says, I would think they would make more money selling charts than kids. Well, it's tricky. I don't know. I think they're doing pretty well, but I think it's about they're probably trying to find a position that's unique on the market, because, you know, do you want to become another Heaven and Earth and compete with them, or you do something that's different and you draw a different audience? So I don't know ultimately whether they will make more money doing charts, but I think you kind of have to have a clear identity. You know, I think the problem with pain-free craft, it feels like they're trying to do a bit of both. But it confused the hell of people, because if you're doing digital download only, we naturally compare it to Heaven and Earth and the kind of price bracket. But if you start selling digital download but price it way up, you know, then I don't know. I'm not saying it won't work. I'm just saying that I'm a little bit confused by who they are. I don't know for sure. Okay, this one I'm going to do a tuck in here then. So guys, you witness the magic of the fairy yogi whale, okay? And oh, maybe Joyce. Joyce is still here, right? Joyce, can you give the whale a name? You know, it's from Fairy Yogi, and You know, me receiving the divine gift from Fairy Yogi. So maybe we need a even more divine name from Joyce, right? Maybe you can gift the whale a name, and you've seen the power. So, you know, come to Yogi, and I'll spin it for you. All right. Abney says, I think Gecko Rouge kit is 25 count, 2/1 full cross. So you're paying for way more floss than you need if you stitch 1/1 like most people. Really? 2/1 full cross? I don't think so, though. I think there's an option that you can tell the system how you want to stitch it. I don't think it's 2/1, though. I'm not too sure. I think it's 1/1. Because majority of people with 25 counts, they would do 1/1. I think you can do 1/1 or 2/1 10 stitches. That will make more sense. Sarah says, the fairy's wheel of fortune. Oh, yes, very game show-esque. And oh, Captain Squirrel is here. Hello. So Nikki, the one Nikki wants from Gecko Rouge is Magic Library. Is Magic Library Colin Thomas or Thomas Collins? Which is which? I should know. Yes, I love his artwork. World of Doom, Joyce? No, stop it, Susan. I know you see darkness, but I see light and hope. Yes, we need to guide, you know, Susan toward the rainbow, the light. You know, she sees, you know, darkness in everything. Oh, I worry about Susan. Yes. Let me move to a slightly different location here before I fall off the fabric, the screen. Betty says, I'll never be able to purchase Gecko 400 or more for a kid. Is so out for me. That price for the ones I like. I know, it's not for the faint-hearted, I have to say. So, you know, this is, it's kind of, I was kind of obsessed enough of that project to spend that kind of money. You know, so it's not something that I would, you know, I do on a regular basis. It's once in a lifetime, perhaps. World of Wonder. Wonder while I'm stitching. Oh, Sarah, that's kind of nice. And Sarah's VM says, oh, hang on a sec. Sarah VM has something here. It's called Wow, Well of Whips. Well of Whips. Oh, Sarah clearly put some thought into this. Yes, that's one potential name. I do like the wow. Aberdeen says for 25 counts, 2/1 and 28 counts, 1/1. Oh, I never realized that. Yes, I just saw a majority of people do 25 count 1/1. But I think they're probably trying to ensure that you have, you know, more than enough of floss for your project. So take a sip of my tea here. The tea is so good. So today I'm drinking this one, okay? If you get to buy it, give it a go. It's really nice. Matcha, but it's got fennel as well, so it's very soothing. So, Maria says, the whippy natot. I'm not sure I can even say it without falling over the chair. So maybe something the yogi can pronounce properly, you know, without kind of turn into a puddle. And Nikki says, it's called shelf life. Oh, yes, shelf life, I know, yes. And Ebony's correct. 28 counts 1/1, 25 is 2/1. Okay, that's really interesting. I think they just probably want to play on the safe side, just in case maybe some people want to do 2/1. And but if you do 1/1, you have plenty left. I only wish I knew what colors they are so I can use them for other things if I have left over in 50 years' time. No, Susan says she can see the peaceful cottage. That's just because someone else suggested that. When I say when I say evil eyes and evil crab, she saw that too, you know. I know you, Susan. You can't fool me. And Irene says, the well of light, because it shines a light on what web to work on without wasting time thinking about it. Oh, I like that too. Yes, the well of light, guiding you to all the lights. Michelle says, Yogi, you're going so ECC that you're running out of a camera. I know. Michelle, I know. I'm going rogue. Yes. It's just like I was sitting way down here. I was falling off the camera and falling off my chair as well. Oh, stitch safely, okay? I've been telling you to watch out for your safety. I need to heed that advice myself. Rochelle likes wow. Captain Squirrel says it's 25 2/1 too. So I misread it. But I think, yeah, that makes sense. They don't want people to run out of their floss, however they try to stitch it, you know. Because the max you can go is 2/1 full cross. Oh, so Maria says Ripinator. Okay, that's easier to say. It's a Terminator. Hey, Steph. Wellfox Stitchery is here. Steph is definitely a gamer, okay? Steph says, I saw WoW. That's true. WoW is World of Warcraft if you play games. Not that I ever played that game. It looks like a headache, but I'm aware of WoW. So yes, that's true. So I'm not sure. Yes, we don't want people to get confused, right? This is path to light, not path to darkness. Like World of Warcraft. Ebony says, Nikki, shelf life is only around 500, guys. It's official. All right. Ebony says, Nikki, the shelf life it's only around 500. Maybe you can get 2 just for the fun of it. Yes, and also Nikki, or 500 is only 5 copies of the portals, right? About 6 copies. And so plus VAT, so not a lot of money at all. Andrea says the Oracle of future webs. Or maybe a web of the day, right? It's for you right now. Very nice. Marsha is here. Hello. Good to see you. Our Australian friends are joining us. That's true, Nikki. If you ship it from to the US, yes, that is going to be a lot of shipping. Because recently, when I saw like Eco Rouge website, there's a notice on the top warning guys from the US that it's going to be tariff, applied to that. So yeah, it's getting. That's a very good point. Maybe because of that, they may want to shift to digital download. You know what I mean? Because currently, majority, I don't know where, the distribution of in terms of geography, but I presume some customers from the US, for instance, probably would get deterred and put off by the shipping plus now the tariff as well. So they're probably gonna, lose out some customers because of that. So do they want to just focus on the UK market and European market? Or maybe they open up the digital download and widen their audience a little bit. Who knows? It's a business decision. It's not an easy one. Because I think it took a while for them to establish themselves as kind of made to order luxury cross-stitching kit, provider. So yeah, it's going to be a interesting thing to watch to see what they do. And Abini says the value of the kit is personal preference. What worth it for one person is not for another. Absolutely, it's in the eye of the beholder. For instance, my craft piece. Maybe for some you just go, well, that's a lot of money to spend. But for me, because I'm totally in love with the pattern, so for me it was worth it. And it took me a while, back and forth in my mind until I decided to get it. So it's not something that I do lightly, So let me work a little bit of this area then. Why not? 168, and I'll try not to fall off the chair or the camera. 168. If you put a few stitches here. I think this must be at least 20. This needle is so large. Why? I don't know what's happening. It must be 24 or 26. Let me put it aside and switch to the other one. It's so big. Catherine A. Jones is here, not Catherine Zeta Jones. Good morning. And Catherine says, I'm still waking up, so filling in. Welcome. Good morning. Betty says, it's not a value, but affordability. Well, it's a bit of a both, isn't it? You don't want to go out of your means to get a kit or a pattern. You have to be sensible. But at the same time, it's some patterns might do nothing for some people, and for some that's the pattern of their lifetime, isn't it? It happens all the time. But some patterns we all love, like the traveling library piece. We're starting on this Saturday. Guys, come along for a ride. And Saturday we're doing a marathon, 10-hour marathon, guys. And you've never been to a stitching marathon, you're in for a treat. and move my power drill off the screen here so you can see what I'm doing here. Nikki says we need to ask Glenn. Glenn, where are you? I think, you know, if Glenn is actually lurking right now, he's probably in hiding by this point, just in case he gets interrogated by everybody. I think Glenn is in disguise right now with sunglasses and a big hat. Oh, but we can see you, Glenn. If you're lurking, come forward. We have questions. My first question for Glenn would be, is it a crab or is it a cottage? Captain Squirrel says, you can get digital pattern from the Gecko Rouge patron. What is that? A Patreon? Really? But not regular patterns. Do you mean if you become a Patreon, as in Patreon? Do you mean becoming a member? They do have some sort of membership thing going on there. But there are a few smaller patterns from a artist I really like though. I don't know if I ever get them, but they're really, really nice. Catherine A. James said, no beautiful actresses around here. Oh, I bet you're beautiful, Catherine. Jez says, they're different every month in the Patreon. The last couple I have been animals. Oh, you mean they just release digital patterns for those people for if you're a patron, then you can buy them, so it's not free, right? Yeah, I'm thinking. But you can get them without having to get a kit. But that's not quite the same because sometimes they do kind of I'm trying to think. They release kind of digital limited edition or whatever it is. But that's provided you like the pattern. Otherwise, you know. Nikki says we were nice when Glenn was here before. No, I think he was terrified of you. Just in case you kind of asking him all sorts of questions about digital downloads. It's like, Glenn, why can't we get that shelf thingy? Just get it like digital download. Why? Just make it happen, okay, Glenn? And yeah, I think Glenn just got scared and go, oh no, I don't know what to do, Nikki. Stop asking me questions. So now, Glenn is like wearing a big hat and shades if he's ever lurking in the chat. Oh, so Betty, you were one of the Patreon, on the Patreon, as in Patreon, the Patreon system, as in crowdfunding, not crowdfunding, crowd supporting system, whatever it's called. Susan said, you need to put a name of Gecko Rouge piece in your title. I think you'll attract his attention. I don't want to attract attention, okay? I'm going to do it here quietly, hidden in the back street. Oh, Joyce has come back with a suggestion. It's called Well a Whip Well. Tongue twisting. Well a whip well. I have to practice my game show host voice. Very nice, Joyce. Top form, top form. So Betty, are you still on as one of the patrons? I don't know how that works. Is that the same as the gold members? I know they've got a gold member thing going on there. Don't know how that works. Whoops. But the thing is, though, each pattern will take some time to work on, unless you just collect patterns for fun. If you intend to work on them, it's not something that you don't necessarily want a new project every month, and so on and so forth. It just doesn't really work like that for me. Nikki says, I didn't say anything to him, but I'm sure I was thinking about maybe I can email them and ask nicely. Yeah, well, you can always email them, can't you? So, I don't know, because it's slightly different from a regular questions. You're essentially asking them to reshape their business model. But it doesn't hurt asking. You can go, well, I'm from America, and this is going to be even more and more challenging for us to get a full kit from you. You know, it's just so costly. Would you ever consider releasing some, maybe not all, but some of the patterns digitally? You know, I'm happy to pay a handsome price. But, you know, I can kit it up myself. Susan, seriously, just watch Susan. She's spreading darkness. World of doom, world of doom. Susan, you know, maybe it's time for you to lie down and stroke your white cat and eating some grapes. And talking about eating grapes, maybe I can have one of my chocolate buttons. Why not? Now this talk of Gecko Rouge's, you know, I've probably burned about at least 50 calories. Now we need to replenish the calorie consumption here. Yes, here we go. Guys, giant chocolate button has entered the screen. There you go, join me. Let me pick a full one. This is, there you go. It's almost like a wheel, isn't it? Woo! Yes, not World of Doom, Susan. This World of Chocolate. There you go. Very nice. Nikki says, now it's Gecko Rouge instead of markup RXP therapy. Markup RSP therapy? What do you mean by that? What happened between you and markup RSP? Have you scared them away as well? Chocolate. Michelle Fuller says, do we have chocolate buttons in the US? Must have some. Well, I'm sure you have chocolate button of some kind. Well, the question would be, do you have this one though? This is Montezuma. You know, the same brand as this one. I'm trying to get the other box. It's the same brand as this one. You know, my go-to chocolate blocks. And it's the same company. They do the giant chocolate button version. It just tastes even better, I think. Maybe it's the shape of the chocolate. And they're giant button. They're not lying when they say they're giant. They're big. Really big. But I'm not sure. I think this is a UK company or European company. I think I've heard the chat says that it's quite pricey if you try to buy it outside the European countries or from the UK. I'm not sure. Probably they're not sort of normally distributed, sold in the US. But you can have a look. Oh, Nikki says it was markup RXP. Not me. Me and markup RXP. No, me and markup RXP are very peaceful with each other. So Nikki, I don't know what you're talking about. You know, I'm just glad I don't have to use it anymore. Other than that, we're really, you know, we're friends. Michelle says, I haven't seen them. Yeah, my suspicion is they're not normally sold in America. Maybe not yet. Cadbury chocolate button on Amazon. Yeah, the problem with Cadbury chocolate is there's very little chocolate in there. I know it's quite a popular brand, but you want at least 70%. This one is 74, kind of a sweet spot for me. But they also do 100%. That's a little bit too much for me, but I wouldn't go below 70% because literally you have very little chocolate there. Michelle says the brand name might not go very well, but the chocolate is delicious, And Michelle says, my brother-in-law is a flight attendant. I'll get him to smuggle something. Yes, absolutely. If it comes to UK on a regular basis, you can get these in a lot of supermarkets and or health food stores, like Whole Foods or independent stores. They'll stock them. So yeah, I guess I'm just get a whole big stash. They're quite reasonably priced. They're, comparing to a lot of independent brand chocolate, they're quite reasonably priced. So just get a huge stash, Oh, Michelle has got business mind, Michelle says, maybe we can trade chocolate buttons for DMC. Oh, there you go. Yes, you people contact my people. I'll smuggle some of the buttons for you. And you give me some DMC, okay? A lot of 310 I need, particularly for the traveling library piece. Right, let me pick one more color here as I'm munching on my chocolate. I don't know what colors to go for. I've done pink, green, orange. Or maybe I can go back to orange. Yes, I'm ready to go back to orange. Let's do that then. A little bit more work on this chair here. Nikki, where are you with this piece? You don't mention it anymore. What happened to the chair? Right, 3827. Nikki says someone said smuggle. Oh, the criminal mind. Oh, Nikki. Yes. Absolutely. Chocolate and DMC. What else can we smuggle then? Now we have like heavy tariff and everything. What can we smuggle for each other? I think this stream is going to get banned by by YouTube. Just, they search a keyword and they go, well, these people are talking about plans for smuggling items across the ocean. Yeah, it has to be banned. Nikki says, we had a falling out regarding to referring to this piece. Max colors on regular charts don't like me. On regular charts? You mean on regular size? So what's happening to your piece then? Because you had a restart, didn't you? Because you were stitching on cardboard, which was a bad idea. And you replaced the fabric. I thought everything was going well. You found your sewing machine. And then what? I mean, this one, it took me a little while to kind of come back to it. You know, it's a little bit challenging with the color palette for sure. But it's a beautiful piece, so I intend to work, continue with it. $9.96. Sarah says, anyone planning ahead for a marathon stocking up on Dr. Pepper snacks and planning crock-pot dinner? Yes, you have to get things in order, okay? So I don't want you to rush out and having to cook like three-course meal for the hubby or anything. Just get things ready and clear your calendar. And so you can sit down and stitch peaceful, quietly with me, and we do yoga. It's going to be a session, a marathon, not just for the body, and also for the mind as well. So you get to relax with me and chat with everybody, and do yoga with me as well. And bring your favorite snacks, tea, coffee, whatever it is. And come and hang out. 10 hours, I ask you, 10 hours. Get Karuja charts. Yes, Glenn is watching. Glenn is like, having cold sweat by now. He's like, oh my God. It's got so bad for Nikki. She's going to thinking about smuggling it. Yes, Wendy says we're turning into a international crime organization. Yes, sort of led by our Nikki here, okay? She's the mastermind. If anybody asks, I know nothing, all right? It's all Nikki. Yogi is innocent. I like this chair. And Nikki, what happened with your live stream that you did sneakily, behind my back? Did you enjoy it? I can't believe you chose the time that I'm in bed and stream behind my back. Guys, did you hear what I just said? Nikki's been streaming secretly without me. I couldn't even join because I was asleep. Oh. Nikki says my piece is at the bottom of all my webs. This is why you need the help for the fairy wheel. Okay, whatever wheel. There's so many different names I forgot. You know, let the fairy decide. Okay, you give it a number and I'll spin it for you. And then if it's the quilting room, it's a quilting room. Let the divine intervention, you know, take over and surrender. Let the fairy guide you. Nikki says, husband, what are you doing on Saturday? Wife says, I have a floss tube marathon for 10 hours. Yeah, exactly. What else is there to do, you know? Of course, it's a stitching marathon for at least 10 hours. It's mandatory. One, two, three, four. 1, 2, 3. Okay, that's another one here. Were you sweating, Nikki? But have you got OBS set up? If you go to set up, it's all good, isn't it? You just press a button. You don't have to do anything. Well, I saw bits of it, and it looked fine. It looked perfectly fine. Because we've got this deal about doing a relay marathon at some point. So yeah, Nikki's practicing, you know? There's nothing to practice. I mean, look at me. Do I look like I've been practicing? You know? If I've been practicing, it's not showing. Sarah says, I asked my husband if he was working on Saturday. He said, I don't think so. Why? I told him about a marathon, and he said, well, yes, I am. Yeah, that's a keeper, okay? That's a husband I would keep. He knows his place. He knows what to do. Because when a husband is at home, Sarah, not, well, I wouldn't say you can't stitch. Sarah chooses not to stitch, to spend time with the hubby. And the husband knows what to do. Oh, that's so sweet. Michelle Fleur says, I also cleared my schedule for the marathon. Thank goodness we don't have tennis tournament. Sometimes you have to juggle, you know, things you love to do. Very good. Nikki says, I have to figure out a camera. I was on studio. You are for sure the queen of floss tube plus the Queen Alien. The camera, do you mean the position of the camera, Nikki? Because you can get a, if that's what you mean, you can get the camera arm that I'm using. It's very stable. Because the top-down angle is always a little bit tricky to set up. Sarah says, the husband told me to put the marathons on his calendar so he would schedule work accordingly. Good thing he works for himself and can set the schedule. Oh my God, this is teamwork, isn't it? He's amazing. Thumbs up for the hubby. Just put the marathons on the calendar. But Sarah, you join 24-hour marathon on a regular basis. He's going to be working so much. He's going to be overworked. He would need a holiday very soon. You have to work for 24 hours. Oh, here we go. We've got a live testimony of a viewer, Nikki's viewer. Okay, Nikki say Michelle says, Nikki, watch your replay. You were charming. You handle your tech issue with grace. Well done. Yeah, there you go. 5-star review from Michelle. So not to worry. No worries at all, Nikki. Tech issues always happen. I had Wi-Fi literally just shut down once. Then I had to just stop streaming till the next day. And I have camera just stopped for whatever reason. And yesterday I got kicked out of the stream for no reason at all. So that happens. Nikki says everything. I have a separate camera, but I'll need a stand for it, so I wouldn't have to use my phone. So you use your phone for it. Yes, if you have another camera, you can link it up. You need something called. You've probably done a research already. If you use external camera, you need a video card, which you can get quite cheaply. There are more expensive version, but there's some other brands. I can send you a list. You can use that as a reference. You don't have to set it up as I do, because a lot of people stream with phones perfectly fine. But I think it's easier and better to, if you have an external camera, use that. And I'll send you my setup. You can use that as a reference. And once you get it set up, it's there. You don't have to do anything. So if it works, it works. Nikki, you're not quitting, okay? You've just started. Sarah says, Nikki, I thought you did a great job. There you go. Rave reviews from the viewers. But I think repetition is probably the key, right? Finding the flow. And, you have a lot of supportive viewers there, which I had zero. So, you can do it. Absolutely. There you go, Janelle. Also says, the technical stuff goes with the live. You handled it really well. Yeah, there you go. Hello, Janelle. Good morning. In Australia. Wakey, wakey, yes. And also, Nikki, I've seen your floss tube videos. You're a talker, right? You're a very natural talker there. You're perfect for live streaming. Let me do one more orange here. I think the best training would be doing a 6-hour marathon, 12-hour marathon relay with me. You'll be perfectly fine afterwards. You know. Right, guys. I think this one, okay, let's see how it goes. So it's 20 to midnight here. So this will be my last color, okay? I'm going to fill in a little bit more orange there. And, you know, if you're regular by now, you know what's going to happen. At the end of every stream, I'm going to ask you to submit your number, okay? Not just yet. I've got a few more stitches to go, as you can see on my screen there. And so my last number of today's session will be 3856. 3856. It's borderline air stitching, okay? It's quite light. If you can see the color at all, but it is orange. It is orange. And so I'm going to do a few more stitches, okay? And it's for you to come up with a number, okay? And guess or count. If you can count, I can't. How many stitches I've done for today's session, okay? And if you go, well, I have no idea. Me either, okay? It's you and me both. So, and your guess is just as good as mine. And also, you know, as someone suggested, this method makes it very, very hard to figure out how many stitches I've done. I'm not doing block by block stitching. I'm going all over the place. At one point, I nearly fell off the chair and the camera, okay? That's the kind of high-level stitching I'm doing. All right there. Janelle says, I'm here every morning. Sometimes I comment, sometimes I don't, as I'm in and out of the stream as I work till 8 a.m., Captain. Yes, Janelle is always here. And Janelle, Squirrel, Captain Squirrel, if you think it's early for our marathon, right? Janelle was there in the middle of the night in Australia joining us last time. So you can do it too, you know? There's a will, there's a way. All right. I think, guys, you can start to submit your numbers here, okay? So if you're new to the stream, we're going to get a winner by the end of every stream, sometimes multiple. Yesterday we had 3. So your job is come up with a number that that's closest to my final number, and the final number is not determined by me, it's by the app. Hips might lie, my app doesn't lie, so it will say as it is, and it will tell me how many stitches I've done for this session, and if you guess it or close, you win. Okay, it's that simple. All right, and so I'm gonna do the final. Let me bring on our the state of the art guess my stitches machine. Yay, go guys. So if you win, you earn the respect of everyone here. Just think about that. the glory, the victory. And you get to share the buffet with me as well. That's icing on the cake there. So I'm going to do the final stitch here. All right. And every stitch counts. So you have to count the final one more stitch here to add it on top of your total there. All right. And then I'm going to end this thread right here. There. And give you a very quick recap of what's happening today. So this piece is called Quilting Room. And it's from Kim Jacobs. You've probably forgotten this is a SAL, SAL Day Wednesday. And this is the markup. Let me just quickly flip to the markup here. It's beautiful. This is a dream quilting room for me. And obviously today I'm doing a alternative version. This is the power tool warehouse, and I'm stitching a chainsaw and also a power drill right there, as you can see. And there's a little lion at the bottom right there. Yeah, just waiting to pounce on me. And there's a beautiful piece from Kim Jacobs, and it can be your whip too, okay? And let's come back to our game machine here. Let's have a look. What have we got today? So today mainly I'm working on the sewing machine, the power tool area, okay? Very, very powerful. And so there are all over the places. At one point I was off down here. That's how adventurous I become. And now I'm going to come to I'll have a look at our game machine and see what we've got today. Nikki, 400. Yes. Kimberly, 288. Captain Squirrel, 262. All right. Maria, 312. Oh, everybody has confidence in me, particularly Nikki. Who is this person, Nikki? And Susan, 235. And Sarah, 267. Sandy, 297. And Catherine Zeta-Jones, 249. Rachel, 278. And Tia, 315. And Sarah says you're up like sometimes. Oh, Sarah. Top form, Sarah. Yes, it is true. And Irene, 258. Sarah's got a great husband and a very sharp mind as well. Very, 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 you know, I can't beat her. She's alien. And Naomi, 280. And Steph is 301. Do not encourage her, Susan, okay? And Rochelle, 289. And Suzanne, 275. And Michelle, 252. And Maddie, 300. And final submission, I think, Sarah, VM, 228. Guys, are you ready? Let's switch. Let's bring on the art view here. And let me zoom out. So this is where I am, center start, okay? And are you ready for the start? Oh, Chloe, final submission, last minute, 350. Let's see who wins today. 3, 2, 1. Boom. All right. Yeah, Nikki, stop laughing, okay? What? 189 grand total today. Yes, round of applause for Yogi. Amazing. I broke another record. Yes, for 3 hours stitching. 189. So who has won? Who's got the lowest number? You're probably the winner, okay? Who is the person? Let's have a look. Who's the lowest? I think Sarah VM is pretty close, right? 228. Anyone lower? Okay, I'll give you a few moments for, you know, so you can climb up your chair. Some of you probably have fallen off. And so let's have a look. And so 189 is my grand total. Hang on. I want to look at the percentage. 2.28 here. 2.28. So not too bad, not too bad. And so guys, now we have a winner. I think is who was that again? Two. Who's got the lowest number here? Was it Sarah VM? Yes, Sarah is our winner tonight. Yes, well done, guys. The glory is for you and me, mostly me, but I'll give a little bit. I'll share with Sarah. And the buffet as well, bring it on. I think Sarah is dying for a nice buffet here. You know, and she deserves that, okay? And it's you know, it's impossible even with her number and still not as low as my actual count. That takes some work. So thank you everyone. And yes, let's bring on the buffet here and the celebration. Okay, for the King Jacobs night from Sarah, Laura and Nikki with firecracker. Can you bring, oh, and squids? Yes, of course. Either you can have this calamari as pets or to eat. It's up to you. It's a life's choices. It's not always easy, but it's up to you. And Susan as well, the fast food selection there, and Michelle will Fuller. I always think I can tell your personality just by looking at the buffet you bring. Okay, Naomi, so a healthy version or fresh food? Yes, Sarah says yay, yes, it's worth celebration. And Sandy as well, pizza, only 2 pieces, and I think I'm gonna have 1.5 of them, and Sarah, you can have half of them. Okay, that's how it works here. And oh, Kimberly is just generous. Guys, this beautiful Wednesday night, thank you for keeping me company. I hope you enjoy stitching with me as well. And Irene with a little bit of pretzel as well, one of my favorite things to eat as well. So thank you guys for joining me today. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day and or night. So now we're only a few minutes, 10 minutes away from midnight before I turn into a pumpkin. Yogi signing out. And remember, we have tomorrow's session as well. Stitch whatever you want and I'll bring my will. Okay, so come ready with your whips numbered and I'll pick one for you. How's that? And of course, we have the marathon coming up on Saturday. Clear your calendar, bring your material, whatever you need there, snacks and drinks, and meet me here. So until the next session, night everyone. And Nikki, I'll send you my setup. Okay, you can use that as a reference, and we're gonna do the marathon together at some point. Okay. Night everyone. Night. Love you all. Bye.